After almost 1 year full-time cruising, for the past few weeks we have been in a marina getting some much needed boat work done while we wait for our patron that's gonna spend 10 days with us to arrive. So let's go back to work because the clock is ticking. I'm Roberta.
And I'm Duca.
And after 2 years bringing this sailboat that was neglected for over 22 years back to life, it's finally time to start exploring.
So don't forget to subscribe and to join us every Sunday for a new episode.
Do you recognize this piece of wood? It's the bottom part of our freezer. Sometimes the freezer gets defrosted and sometimes this wood gets wet.
If we paint white, we're gonna know if we have any water, because usually the water has color from the meat or for anything and it smells really bad. So with a white bottom, we can see really easy if we have any sort of liquid on the shelf, and it's gonna be easier to clean.
What do you have there?
Mail! It's so good. We are in a marina for another 2 or 3 days, and so it's the last mails we are receiving. And that's awesome because after here, you never know when's the next time we can receive mail. And this one, it's something that I really want. It's a huge box for a small box. As you guys know, we rely mainly on solar to have energy on the boat. We don't have a generator anymore. When we bought the boat, there was an old diesel generator that we took off because it was really old. So sometimes we have like 3, 4, 5 days of rain and we need to rely on the engine sometimes. It's not often, but it happens. And when it does, we don't charge much. Now we're gonna charge more because this is our new alternator controller to make sure we can produce more energy with the same alternator. So when I heard that BRoll was working now with wake speed, I'm like, oh, I need to contact them because our BRoll batteries need a wake speed WS500 to bring more energy to the boat. So basically this controls the alternator output to make sure we don't burn the alternator. Oh, I'm sorry. Because we have lithium batteries, and lithium batteries, if you just hook straight to the alternator, it's gonna burn the alternator. It's just gonna suck up energy, and it's gonna heat up and burn the alternator. So this pretty much is an external controller to guarantee it won't burn the alternator, and at the same time we're gonna have the highest output possible for our alternator. And it came also with all the wiring ready. That's really good.
This is great.
That makes life so much easier.
Yeah.
Actually. Hopefully it's the right length. That's pretty good. But let's go back to reality. We just paint the support for the freezer. Let's put the freezer in place.
When you think the project is over, we have another project.
Yeah, I think we're gonna do a small tiny piece of trim around the whole perimeter, just in case, because if we do that, anytime the freezer leaks, the water that comes is gonna drip to the front and not to the back. To the back, the problem is that we don't see it and goes to the bilge in the back and you won't see it and then it just smells bad. If it comes to the front, you know when you have a problem to clean. I think it's a smarter idea.
Not in place today, freezer. Not being easy cooking here, cutting onions. Yeah, I'm crying. The food's chicken today. It's hard to work around. Look at editing.
I do edit a lot actually.
After a shower.
Yeah, after a shower. Oh, yeah, after a shower. Yeah, the funny thing is, anytime I start editing, I'm editing like something that happened like 1.5, 2 months ago, and I feel like I'm back 2 months. It's just so cool. Like, seems like right now we're anchored in a different spot. This is awesome. I like it. Yeah, it's really cool.
What's the plan there?
I'm just gonna apply a little bit of Sikaflex, just a little joint, just to guarantee that if there is any water here, it won't leak in between both plywoods and also in between the bulkheads and the plywood. And this way we can guarantee that the water is gonna come forward. Let's hope so.
We have a plan for this area.
At some point I think they use already for that, but here I believe that's for the emergency chiller, but it doesn't fit like this. We need to fix this opening to fit the emergency chiller here, because whenever you need the emergency chiller, you need in a place that's really easy to take it out. And here you just take the mattress out and you can get the emergency chiller. On the bow we always have stuff on the top of the bed, and not necessarily is the easiest place to get the emergency chiller.
And also it's kind of heavy, so if we put this to the stern of the boat, it's gonna be better.
Yeah, because right now we have a lot more weight on the bow because we took the engine out of the back of the boat, so you know, a little bit of trimming problem, but I think this is gonna help the boat. So get the emergency chillers.
The problem is the height here, but instead of fitting just this one there, we are gonna try to fit also this part here somewhere.
Final time to put this beast in place. We have a shelf already, painted, sealed, everything, so let's see what we can do here. The cover in front, that's just temporary. In the future we need to do like a proper, how call? Drawer. So that's in the future, not now, but at least in this way it covers, you know, the smell from the head behind and some maybe noise from the engine room. It's better like this.
Finally back in place! And after some days we are finally finished the installation of the exhaust system.
Everything's good now. I'm just tightening up all these screws and, you know, using some zip ties to lock wires in place and everything, and we're good to go. We have our engine actually working, but we're not leaving the marina tomorrow as we were supposed to. We have one of our patrons arriving that he's gonna spend 10 days, full 10 days sailing with us, and that's the reason why we were in the marina. We just wanted to get all the jobs done before he arrives. He's coming from Oregon just to sail with us, so we want him to have a lot of fun. And we got COVID 2 weeks ago. We delayed some of the work, and now last week he got COVID, so he delayed his trip for 1 week because of COVID. So I'm like, as he's not coming for a week, let's stay 1 more week and get a lot of the work that we didn't get done, let's get done this week. So one less job today, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Exciting.
Yay! Good morning.
Good morning.
Working already.
Yeah, we want to try to install the new shower because we never took a shower on this head, and the winter is getting here. I mean, like, it's not cold, but if we had a hot shower inside would be good. And we actually do have hot water here, but we never use the head. So we're gonna try to seal a little bit better because we are always afraid that the water is gonna go through the corners to the edges and ruin our bulkhead. So we just need to apply some Sikaflex, and then we're gonna install this new shower because we're gonna save some water. This is like has some air with the water, so it's gonna use less water than the old one. So let's see if we can do that.
And this is Fury. I hope it works.
Yeah, that's all Fury. Now let's hope that the new hose actually has the same diameter and the same threads. So far so good. That's really good, the right diameter. So that means the hose is fine. The only thing is, I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to fit this finishing. So maybe we can cut, or we can just smash this little...
We did manage to put this in place.
Next step is to connect the shower to the hose and to see if we have leaks. So let's hope for the best. You turn on the pump and then you check and film if there's any leak behind the wall.
No leak here.
I just don't see pressure, to be honest.
What a great shower!
Yeah, we're gonna save a lot of water like this. I'm not sure what's going on. Yeah, so the problem is definitely this part, because you can see that we have enough pressure here, for sure. So something is wrong. We need to install this AIS unit. Yeah, we do have AIS already working, but we only have the receiving AIS. That means we only receive information from other ships. We're not transmitting our information to other ships, and the reason for that is because in order to have that, we need to have a MMSI number. So we've been trying to get the number for over 2 months already. Good news, we're almost there. As we're gonna have the number, we want to get everything ready to install our AIS. But the problem is, we have a challenge now, because we need to install this VHF antenna and also a AIS that is also a VHF antenna. So we have 2 antennas to install on the stern arch, but we need to manage to take this connector through the gooseneck. That's gonna be terrible. That was easy. So now we have all the wires here. All we need to do now, we need to create a connection for the VHF antenna, and then we connect this, we connect to the NIMEA, we connect the antenna outside that we didn't connect yet, and then we cannot do anything else because we need the MMSI number that hopefully by this week we're gonna have the MMSI.
As we are already taking everything apart, why not doing some other projects?
Yeah, this is actually almost the last step on this one. We install new solar panels on the top of the Bimini. I mean, we did one, we have another one that FedEx lost. Shame on you, FedEx. We already have everything ready, solar panels, controller, but there is one thing that we didn't do is to run the wire from the cockpit arch all the way to the nav station. That's gonna be tricky.
So the idea now is to bring the wires on this side to there, and from here to the next station.
Yeah, but the thing is, in order to cross this area, we need to go through a lot of styrofoam inside of here. That's impossible. We cannot take this part out. It's just glue in place. So unfortunately, we're gonna do something that we don't like. I think we're gonna create a little hole here and bring externally the wire from here to here. Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah.
Hopefully it works at least this way.
Yeah.
Let's hope so.
Now all the wires are passed all the way to the panel.
Yeah, so this one we're not gonna install now. We're just gonna store somewhere that's always the same place. Right there, as you can see, there is a lot of wires there. Yeah, so these are all wires for future projects. We have a horn, we have stern light, and now we have cockpit light. So everything that's a future plan, that's not priority, we put through the hole and we leave it there for now.
One day we are gonna do this.
Right now we need energy, and we don't need to use more energy, we need to create more energy. So that's why solar panels are priority, and that's gonna be this week. Now we need to connect the exterior controller because we have a panel on the bulkhead, so we need to just connect that.
And it's ready.
Yeah, I mean, not 100%, we need to connect the solar panel.
Ah, yeah.
And I think we're gonna do that when the next one arrives. It's
Yeah.
really close to be done. And when this is done, that's gonna be just awesome. Because right now we have 600 watts of solar panel. We're gonna have then 1040 watts. That's like almost twice as what we have right now. And that's just gonna be life-changing. But now, let's get out of this hole. Next step?
I don't know.
I have no idea.
I'm still thinking we have so much to do yet.
12 volts outlet. That's something that avoids us turning on the inverter charger that use a lot of energy. So if you have this, that means we can charge our phones without running the inverter just to charge the phone.
The only place we have with 12 volts is this one, so I can use this. And I can charge my phone and the batteries for the cameras. But now...
Thank you very much. Really good.
we found another project to keep going.
This is gonna be the button for the bilge pump for the shower. So basically, when you take a shower, you just press down and zzz, water goes away.
It used to be just a manual pump. People used to take showers and then they used to use the manual pump.
So the problem is we had nowhere to take the water out of the boat. So the electrical pump is gonna go through the manual pump and go out of the boat. And if you want to use the manual, you just unhook the electrical one and you can still use the manual. I hope that works. That's theory for now, but I believe it's gonna be fine because it's just a check valve on the bottom, check valve on the top. So that means if I have a flow of water, it's gonna open both valves and it's gonna go through, but it's not gonna come back.
We hope.
Let's see. So this is gonna go somewhere here, but through the other side. Roberta's gonna do that for me, and then I just lock on this side.
We found out that the wall is 20 millimeters thick, so
We have a problem, Batman. Basically, this has like 15 millimeters and the wall is like 20, so that means need to make the thickness of the wall a little bit smaller. And I think with the oscillating tool, we can do that. But to work here, it's on the top of, it's just like there's no access. It would be much easier if it was down here. Of course, we create a hole that we don't need, so somehow we need to close this hole later, and we're gonna install somewhere around here.
we just found out another project.
Yeah.
The house is a mess, it's late night, but we have one more project. We decided to convert this outlet for
This. Are you ready to test this? It's even light. That's pretty good.
working.
Charging. We can charge the phone while in the bed.
Without needing to turn on the inverter. That's awesome.
So now the only reason we have to start the inverter is to charge the computer, to use the outlets, and to, of course, charge some cameras. But some of the cameras, we can even use this to charge cameras. It's pretty good. So before we go, we just want to welcome on board our new patrons for this week. Welcome to the family Rosiane and Bruce.
And I also want to thank Pop-Up Steve for the birthday donation.
Guys, thanks so much. We really appreciate the support. And we'll see you guys
Next Sunday.
Next Sunday.